And I'm Susan.
And we're the owners of Nest in Place. I am actually a physical therapist by trade. And I have worked many years caring for people with geriatrics, people with dementia, some people in their homes, some people in assisted living, and seeing the kinds of things that cause people to move into homes, how they're able to live alone independently, and just really seeing what that looks like.
I'm in sales and marketing, and I actually am working to network with our company and out into the community and find different solutions that we can bring to our clients and our employees.
Well, communication can be very challenging in our industry. Our team is dispersed. Everybody works remote in home, in the client's home. And so we have a lot of different people in a lot of different locations. And at the same time, we're trying to coordinate them all, make sure we're on top of everything that's going on, and then also communicate with their families, which may be people who live with them, maybe people who live in the same town, maybe people who live across the country.
Right. And we're always growing our team. So our team is actually week by week, we're growing more employees. We like to include them in our communications. And that's where, we find a challenge.
Yeah. And we have two different sets of communication. So we have our internal communication, which is really our caregivers and trying to really connect the team. And then there's also that external communication with the clients and their families. And so we really we were really trying to find a solution that was together yet separate.
Definitely realized we needed HIPAA compliant communication when all of our employees started communicating and talking about our clients. And Karen, that's her professional experience of HIPAA. So,
I mean, in our industry, I think there's not as much communication and there's definitely not as much technology. And so for our caregivers to be in home and wanting to share pictures, wanting to share updates, so we decided that it was extremely important for us to have something that was HIPAA compliant and also something that was self-contained. Before we found Hucu,
we had two different systems we were using.
Yeah. So again, an internal system and an external system.
The internal system was really our own phones and our own text messages. And it just became unmanageable at some point.
We looked everywhere for a different solution. And we really, after months of research, decided that Hucu was the best choice for our organization. It just allows us to have that internal and external in one place. It's self-contained, it's easy to set up. And that was just the initial part of it. Since we've started using it, we have found so many new ways to use it that are benefiting us. On a daily basis, I would say the first thing we do is communicate with all the employees. And that could be something motivational,
pictures.
Someday it's something, comical,
a topic.
And then if there's information that we need to provide to everybody, we tend to communicate a lot, and we are very passionate about staff development. So we want to always be sharing successes and growth and information, and we're able to do that with all of our employees. So that's really the first way.
And that really makes us a little bit different than all the other companies out there, because in our experience of caregiving, people don't communicate to families or they don't communicate to each other. Having all of our caregivers be so excited about this, just amazing that it's really bringing us together as a team.
Client side, the caregivers, the patient side, the caregivers can communicate information to each other shift to shift or day to day. And then on the family side, they can communicate the information to the families, and that can include pictures and a daily update of just how the person is doing. And we don't just like to communicate the issues. We really do like to communicate, had a good day, had this for lunch.
It's just nice to show the families that people are caring for them.
And then we also have found some new what we kind of feel are out of the box solutions using Hucu, because so there is a section where we can set up our channels. And so we have set one up for client receipts and also for company receipts. So We do have some caregivers who shop, and then that gets expensed to the client's bill. So they can take that receipt and take a picture of it in Hucu, and then just upload that right onto that channel. And so then when Susan goes in to do the billing,
Right. I could
she
just
can
go
just,
through and find them pretty easily instead of having to look through my phone and
yeah.
pictures or old text messages. So it's nice to have it compartmentalized, like put right into a category for us.
And now we can always just say, put that in Hucu, and that's our one central location that just collects all that information.
In COVID, our Hucu communication has definitely increased and has been nothing but positive. And Karen came up with such a great plan.
Yeah, so we actually started seeing some clients at an assisted living. And as we were going in, the caregivers were just doing what they do and sending pictures and daily updates to the families. And so then one of the family members said, "Can I add my brother? Can I add my sister-in-law? Can I add my son? Can I add?" So they started adding all these people in the family, and then every day we're providing updates and pictures, and then we're going to incorporate the Zoom, the like video visits in with it. So we have actually we've started marketing that because like our manager, her grandmother is at an assisted living and receives one 15-minute slot a week for a video chat with family. And if she's sleeping, they don't do it. So the fact that the family can see every day, get an update on them, a written update, get pictures, and then get video visits, then they love it. They absolutely love it.
So we wish we'd done this 6 months prior.
Yeah, I know, right? I think that Hucu creates additional value for our team and our clients.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely higher end. It has a feel of that for us.
Yeah, the team feels connected and connected to us and connected to each other in a way that I don't think that people feel connected in this industry. The quality of care is higher because the families are really updated as to what's going on. We can be proactive about things.
Right. Families can ask us questions too. So it's not like they need to email us or call us off hours. I mean, it's just a nice avenue to have. Really been a great addition.
One piece of it is in the caregivers communicating with the clients and the families. That is great, but we kind of want to oversee that communication just to make sure everything is on track. And if there's anything that we can take off the family's plate that we can do, we want to do that, or at least offer to do that. So we have that transparency where the caregivers are communicating, but we're still seeing what's going on. And that was really important to us. We just did our first big round of reviews. Right. So what we received were 20 5-star reviews right off the bat. And so many of them say communication, right? That the families are updated as to what's going on, that we communicate well, that we communicate with each other. So it was really heartwarming to see that. I mean, the things that people wrote brought tears to my eyes.
I know. If I think about it, I'll start to cry because it was like we haven't asked for anything. We've started this business, would be 2 years this March.
Yeah.
And we haven't asked for anything, and to have all that this past month.
It really
it makes
was
it all worthwhile.
Amazing. We recognized in looking for a new platform that people may have a difficult time using or adopting a new technology. So that was important to us to find a solution that we felt would be pretty easy to use. So the videos that we were provided for how some of the tutorials were very helpful, but I think it's been very easy to use, very easy for the families to use. I was on the dashboard this morning, and every caregiver we have has used it since yesterday. So everybody's utilizing it at this point. It's definitely made our lives easier. Instead of just being communication that was in a bunch of different places, it's really become like a part of us, like a location where everybody can go to and they feel supported as a team and they are able to communicate freely. I feel like people are a little more responsive.
Definitely. You can go back and read, like if you go to a client's house and you want to get an update, you can just scroll right back up through it and get an overview.
And when we have a new employee, if we add them to, or somebody's seeing a new client, we add them to that chat again, they can go back and
Mhm.
see what's already transpired. It's not like they're starting from scratch. So the communication piece is just,
It's it's part of us now. I mean,
it is.
we
Yeah.
really have tried to automate
Mhm.
ourselves, and we've done so much different technology things over coronavirus. This is a big piece of it because this just puts everything in one spot,
Mm.
one app.
Just got our February report and we got 14 pages of analytics. So there's a lot of data there.
Mhm. I think it's great because you can sort of cipher through it or go through and you can come up with different, for me, employee incentives, people using it, or for our managers to look at it and see who needs help using it. I think that that's for internal use. I think we'll be able to find a lot of good things about of the reports that are provided.
Yeah, I like the collaborators who's using it the most because it's
Mhm.
me. But I also liked who's using it the least, the 10 people who
Mhm.
are using it the least, because that actually it shows, like, if somebody is engaged and they disengage and they're not using it anymore, it is good to know. And it is good to try to help engage those people and get them to feel more comfortable communicating.
Mhm. What's nice about Huku is it puts it in one place. So if I'm not available for a couple hours and we're out somewhere, you can sit down at night and then hit it and go through all the messages and really get caught up. So it's not like on your phone and you're looking for business things versus work things, so, or work or personal things. So I think it is definitely a time saver.
Yeah, and I think it not only saves us time, but I think it also saves us stress,
Mhm.
because it is a lot to manage. There's a lot of people involved,
Yeah.
and then
And they always say, what are the things that keep you up at night? And before we had Huku, I would probably have to say, yes, our communication piece. Like when, as an owner and you're like, oh, what are the things that really stress you out? And that was one of them. And I think now having the support and the trust of this app makes me sleep better at night. Yeah.
we just feel so much more at ease knowing
Mhm.
everything's HIPAA compliant,
Right.
everything's in one spot. It's all separate from any information that people have on their personal phones. The COVID pandemic has really
Mhm.
taken the technology of industries and moved it ahead a good 5 to 10 years. And so are people in our industry prepared for that? Again, like the caregiver demographic, there's such a shortage in
Mhm.
the industry of caregivers. And I think that they do feel disconnected. They do feel like they're in it by themselves. They don't necessarily feel supported. People
Right.
tell us that all the time. And so having that technology piece, and then also for the families.
Mhm.
So it's a great, I think it's really where everything is headed. Why we have all this technology, why can we not use it to provide good care?
So it's just nice that we're researching and looking for companies that are moving forward. And we're looking at this as our foundation now, but we really want to grow.
Yeah, and we also have plans in the future to develop a nonprofit foundation to
Mhm.
help people who don't have the resources that our private pay clients do have.
Mhm.
And then we also have aspirations to create an online
Right. Community,
program
like a
community.
community.
Yeah, so that we can help, especially daughters
Mhm.
who feel that they need to kind of abandon themselves in order to take care of their parents,
Right. Take
and
on all this.
helping to support them and providing them resources. And
Mhm.
I mean, honestly, we really feel like as we grow and as we do all this stuff, Huku's just going to grow with us.
Mhm.
And even developing an online program, a place to put articles and to create
Content or teaching or
yeah, and chat
classes.
support systems
Mhm.
for people. So all of that is possible with what we have
Mhm.
right now. So I think
We
that
just want to change the world.
we do. Yeah, we want to change the world. Yeah.
Change the world of healthcare and have
Yeah.
it just be more of a partnership.